So welcome back to Burn and Barrel, and today we are going to be starting a kind of like a small mini series. If you have watched my last video on here, you will know that I recently got to get the opportunity to go to Dallas for a trip. So I am now back. I've been back a couple days now. And so while I was out there, like I said, if you haven't watched that video, please go watch it. It's just kind of me talking about how the trip went, kind of what I did, that kind of thing. And mainly about what kind of bottles and what kind of the bourbon and whiskey scene is like out there. But today I wanted to talk about the first bottle that I'm going to be reviewing of the 4 that I got to keep. Because like I said, I had 6 bottles that I got. I got 2 of them for my dad and his a coworker of his, and then the other 4 are mine. So this is one of them, and I'm not going in particular order. I just kind of just picked one that I just wanted to do first, and I'll kind of just pick them randomly of the 4. But it'll be the next 4 reviews will be these bottles that I mentioned in the last video. But today, this first one, as you can see, is E.H. Taylor, the small batch. So this is the Bottle & Bond small batch. So this is their most basic of the lineup. And quick backstory of how I got this bottle. So while I was there, one of the first store, or no, it was actually the second store I went to, had these on the shelf. I think they had, 8 of them, and they were like $75 or something like that, which is one of the lowest prices that I had seen for them, just because these bottles are not easy to find. And I remember being in Columbus, Georgia, I think last year, or in the past year or so, and they were selling these for $100, and I almost bought it. I contemplated getting it for real, just because I heard they were hyped and they were gonna be good, and I'd never seen them, so that was the lowest I'd ever seen. It was $100 at the time. So I almost pulled the trigger then, and I'm really glad I didn't. I ended up going with, I think, 2 bottles instead of just the 1. And I think both those bottles were fantastic for the price. I don't remember what they were, but I did not pull the trigger on the $100 version of this at that point. And I'm glad I did, because here we are. I went to a first store, saw it for $75, but then I went to the next store, saw it for $55, passed on it then just because I wasn't sure that I wanted it, but just because I was being picky about the bottles that I was getting. And I saw it again at another store a couple stores later for the same $55. So I was like, okay, this is a sign. I gotta get it. So I got it then, and so I picked it up for about $55, which I think that's pretty close to MSRP, or maybe, I think that's about MSRP for it, $55. But obviously, it comes with the tube here, and the tube is really cool. It's iconic. It's just one of those things that you see, and it's just really cool. It comes with this. The bottle obviously is really cool too. It's got the nice little big signature on the front, E.H. Taylor. A little bit on the back about their story. But yeah, so very excited about this, and I haven't even tasted it yet. So this is just brand new, fresh crack. Well, not fresh crack. I've had this open, all of my Dallas bottles open since I got back, just to aerate them, but I haven't had a sip out of all of them. I haven't tasted any of them, so just wanted to aerate it, let it kind of open up a little bit before I tried them. So here we are. So I've had this poured up for about 10 minutes or so. So hopefully it'll continue to open up and be fully ready to go here in a minute when we get to the tasting and nosing. But just real quick about this. So obviously H. Taylor is, if you don't know, it is owned by Buffalo Trace. So actually it is distilled, aged, and bottled by Old Fashioned Copper Distillery. It's Buffalo Trace. So Buffalo Trace is the distiller of this lineup. And so, there's, again, on the tube itself, there's a story about I believe it was a Colonel. Yeah, Colonel. And why it's called that, and just the history behind that. And also on the bottle itself, there's the same thing on the front, kind of his picture here more story on the back. Again, if you want to read this, here it is. I don't know if you'll be able to read it that well, but here it is on the back of the bottle if you want to pause and read it. I'm certainly not going to right now. I may when I'm sipping on this, but obviously we have a review to do. So without further ado and without all the talking, let's get right into it. So I'm not sure the mash bill on this one, so it could be, it's one of Buffalo Trace's. I'm not sure if it's 1, 2, or however they do their mash bills. They're not very transparent with it, so I'm not really sure. But bottle and bond, 4 years, so 100 proof. Let's get into the nose. So it's pretty good. I'm getting some nice notes here. It's giving me a little sweetness, like that typical, I know a lot of people get like a grapiness, and I absolutely see it. To me, it's not a purpley grape, it's more like a white grape. Like a fresh grape, like a sparkling grape juice. Kind of got bright, bubbly type note. Definitely white grape for sure. A little bit lighter, maybe a little citrus in there too. It's got a little bit of a caramel note in there, I will say, but it's not like super dark. Being only a 4-year-old product, you know, obviously it's not going to be super complex typically. I know there are some that can be, but I mean, typically you're not going to see something super just really developed and really just dark and just there as a 4-year product. But, you know, this does have some really good notes. Like I said, it's Buffalo Trace, so if you don't know, typically, and I get this as well, a lot of Buffalo Trace notes are sweeter. You know, you get a lot of your sweet notes, the grape, you know, you get all sorts of things like that, and this is gonna be no different here. Definitely have a sparkling, like, white grape, you know, a little caramel, citrusy. It's good though. I mean, I like it. Not super light, but not super dark either. Kind of just like in a middle zone there. But really nice too. So very happy about that. So can't complain. Let's get right into the palate and see if that transfers or what we're gonna get. Okay. Oh wow. That's very nice actually. It continues a lot on the palate. What I get on the nose, like I get a really like a very impressively strong white grape. Like it's very nice. Yeah, I get like a white grape. It's not like an artificial, it's like a natural white grape. So it's not like overly confectionery sugar. It's like a natural skin and all white grape. I'll say a little bit of that oak on the beginning too. The oak is just very present, but not overbearing, it's just there. Yeah, you get a little bit of that in there. Like a little bit of a honey. It's a little bit of a lighter sweetness on the palate than it is on the nose for me. Like I said, nothing too complex, but it's not asking to be that. Like, I don't think this bottle particular is asking you to think it's some sort of complex bottle, like complex juice. I don't think that's what should be expecting of it. Like, Buffalo Trace has a lot of good products. Like I've reviewed and talked about this before, but Buffalo Trace has some fantastic upper echelon products. Like obviously, you know, you can get medium level with their rarity and stuff with like Weller Antique, and then you can get like Stag Juniors, and you can get I'm trying to think if there's any others like now off the top of my head or that I have. But you know, some of those, like, they're not like the upper tier Buffalo Trace, but definitely not like bottom shelf. They're kind of like a middle shelf, upper middle shelf type product. And those are where you can start getting some high expectations of like, this should be good because of how rare and how priced it is. And then once you get to like B-Tax and Pappy's, you know, their expectations are just through the roof. And I've heard things like Pappy's are maybe fall short of that a little bit. I've never had one. Things like Blanton's are again mid-shelf, but once you get to like the Blanton straight from the barrel, upper shelf. All the B-Tax should be really good, from what I've heard. But this one, the Weller Special Reserve, the Benchmarks, all of those are not, I wouldn't say this is bottom shelf, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying this is definitely not like a top shelf product. this small batch in particular. Now, if you get like the barrel proof version or some of the other E.H. Taylors, then maybe. But this one is not asking you to imagine that this is the best whiskey you've ever tried. And it's not the best whiskey you've ever tried. But it is a pretty good whiskey. This is a fantastic bourbon. Like, it's not asking you to think all this about it. And that's what I like about it. Like, it's got good notes there, but it's not doing too much, I don't think. It's it's just got a nice sweetness. It's not complex. Like maybe one or two good notes in there. And it's just a good sip. Like this is a pour that I could just pour and enjoy whenever. I don't need to be in the mood for it. I don't need to have like some sort of hankering for it. I don't need to, have just had something like, I don't have to prep anything like for that. I can pour it and just enjoy it from off rip all the way down till I finish the pour and not complain. Like, this is great. I will say the only thing about this is it is a little lighter, not like super light. Like this is the Buffalo. I think this definitely beats the base Buffalo Trace stuff by a decent amount, but I don't think it's gonna stack up as well to like a Weller Antique or something like that. Because a Weller Antique I give about an 8 or so, I think, and it's really good. I would say this is definitely a step below that. I would say it's definitely a step above Buffalo Trace. It's probably a little bit better than that Weller Special Reserve. Now, between this and the Benchmark Full Proof, which I happen to really enjoy, I don't know. I give a Benchmark Full Proof about a 7, I think. Maybe a 6 too. And that's where I'm going to put this one. I'm putting this one at a 6. High 6, low 7, just depends on the day, whatever you're thinking. But for me right now, I mean, this is just, it's a really good pour. And I think for, sub $60, this is a fantastic bottle. Like, it's not offensive in any way. Like, there's nothing bad about it. It's just good. Like, it's just a quality bourbon. Yeah, I mean, I could talk about this all day. Like, I just think from these few sips that I've had that this is something that I've really enjoyed. Now, I did want to mention as a sidebar, again, like I have mentioned with a couple other Buffalo Trace videos I've done, obviously, this bottle has been hyped a lot, and along with any of the other Buffalo Trace bottles, and so up until recently, I've found this bottle has been very hard to find. In general, like I have seen, no joke, this bottle for $100-something, 100 plus. Obviously, when I found that 100 was the cheapest I'd ever seen it. I'd seen it for 130, 150. Is it worth that? Not a chance. It is nowhere near worth $150. It is nowhere near worth $100. If you're spending more than $75 on this, I wouldn't even spend $75. Like, I would spend no more than $60 on this. If this was $60, that's the max I would pay for this. Not because it's bad, but because it's not asking you to pay $60 more dollars for it. Like, there's just some bottles that are just not supposed to be that priced high and not that high. This is a good bottle. Don't get me wrong. I think for a $45, $50 to $60 range, this is a great bottle to buy. If you see it, get it for that price. It's very good. But if you see it for anything more than that, I would just be weary. It's just not all that. So I just wanted to kind of de-influence you a little bit on that, just because, like I said, this is not one of those bottles that I would say, if you just see it for less than 100, get it. No, like, if you see it for less than 60, I would get it because it is good. But I'm not going to tell you to get it just because it's in double digits, not the triples. It's not worth all that. It's very good, and I think a 6 out of 10 is a fantastic rating for it. And I highly recommend, if you do see it, to grab it for that price. But if you are contemplating getting it and you see it for $100, don't do it. Just don't. There's so many other bottles that I would rather have for under $100. Again, not saying that this is bad. Just, it's not asking to be all that, but it is a very good bottle, and about a 6, high 6, maybe a low 7 on a different. I can't decide. Somewhere in that range. But we'll do the low end just for a 6, just to be like, at the worst, it could be this. That's my review. That's my first bottle from Dallas I've reviewed and will be reviewing. So keep a lookout in the next few weeks for the other bottles that I've had from Dallas, and we'll go through those together and review those for the first time. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, look forward to that. If you're able to try this bottle, let me know down in the comments below. I'd be interested to see what you think about this bottle, and maybe just what you think about Buffalo Trace in general as a distillery. And like always, I've left a summarized version of this review in the description, so be sure to check that out as well. You'll see a couple videos here on the screen now, some videos that I've done before, reviews, other videos, things like that on my channel. So be sure to check those out, some of the other reviews I've done. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's review. So I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll see you next time here on Burn and Barrel.